Welcome, college basketball fans, to the Full Court Press Podcast with LT and Sammy D. This is the podcast that brings you legendary stories from college basketball's golden era and dives in deep with a current analysis of today's game. Get ready for the most energetic and entertaining college basketball podcast around. Let's get it.
Hello and welcome to another Full Court Press, a college basketball coaches show powered by the Full Court Network. Luke Taylor here, back in the saddle with my guy. I almost shed a tear this morning realizing that you're going to make it to this episode because let's be honest, coaches come to this show for you, not my theatrics. But let's be honest. But Sammy, welcome back. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you watch the Full Court Network. Plethora of shows. We got two, but that's a plethora. But we got this coach, and I mean, he's done fantastic things in arguably probably one of the toughest conferences. I mean, let's be honest, Sammy D. We got Mark Byington, head men's basketball coach of the Commodores of Vanderbilt. Welcome to the Full Court Press, Coach.
Yeah, Luke, Sam, great to talk to you guys.
Yeah. So we talked about the offseason, which there is none. What and then you're going to – what's that, Sam?
Said what off season, you know?
I don't think people understand, and I haven't had one coach complain, both on air, off air. It's like a 365. I mean, people used to get married in like May and June, and now people get married on Tuesdays between SEC conference games, I guess now.
Or you just elope or do something like that. You don't have much time to plan out things.
No. But how's it going? How was the off-season workouts? It's kind of funny to say that you get all these practices now in the summer, and then you'll have exhibition games, and then we'll have 2 seasons of college basketball. We'll have 17 transfer portal windows. But how'd the summer go, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, it's balancing everything. So, I mean, obviously we got to balance recruiting, and the first thing we do is put our roster together. So you're in the off-season. I think that we say that starts in the spring as soon as our last game's over, and we'll lose to St. Mary's NCAA tournament. I mean, it was immediate, full every single day from that point to put together the roster for this year. And that's probably the hardest part of the year, more difficult than games or any other time. I would say probably the month after the season is probably the most difficult part of the year. And then, you kind of get, to the end of that point, and then your new team comes and you're putting that together. The first week of June, and that really is my favorite part. It's seeing what it looks like, putting it together, what we're good at, covering some things and style of play, like what we're going to need. And so that's June, July, and you're working on that. They go home for a little bit in August, they come back. And so since August, like 26th, we've been going shorter versions of practice, and starting like the late September, we're going full-fledged practice. So like you said, the exciting thing is we can do different things with games and exhibitions. And I mean, we're playing UVA at home in front of fans 2 weeks from now. So that's anxious. It's exciting. It's all these things, but it's almost here.
Yeah. Coach, were you able to take a breath and enjoy last season? Because I mean,
you're about to say day off, Sam.
No, I wasn't going to say day off. I mean, it's like, he already answered that question. That you didn't get a day off. I mean, you go right into that. But I mean, did the Vanderbilt alumni and boosters? I mean, how was the reception from what you accomplished last season? I mean, you had 4 games that you guys won over top 15 opponents. Your first year at Vanderbilt, and at the toughest conference possibly ever, right? And making the NCAA tournament, you got guys in the NBA, workouts and stuff like that. Like, how has the reception been at Vanderbilt from that first year?
Yeah, the fans have been great. And, the first part of your question, have I had a chance to kind of reflect? Probably no. It just goes straight through, and it's what's next. I had July 4th off, and some fireworks here or there, and the beers, and it's like, all right, we got to keep on moving. And maybe that time I had a chance for a little bit. But then the second part of what you're asking is the reception, the fans, appreciative and kind of a welcome back sometimes for some alumni or fans. And one of the best things I think we did last year was making people believe again. And, Vanderbilt has history in basketball, great players, great teams, and
Billy and McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah, there's
Billy
been
McCaffrey.
there's been some really good ones. And so having people come back and kind of believe in us, believe in the program, and that makes it this year much better. Right now there's an energy on campus right now with our football team. But that's going to carry all the way through to the basketball team too, because everywhere I go right now, people are excited.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing. I mean, what's the recipe? Because if you look at Vanderbilt basketball, let's say the last 10 to 15 years, they've struggled. I guess what is the biggest misconception of Vanderbilt when it comes to their basketball program? Because yes, Billy McCaffrey, Kevin Stallings, they had some good years, but they've had some really down years in the SEC.
Well, you hear people that, kind of go against us. And one thing I hear, and I was like, this doesn't make sense to me, when they talk about how good we are academically. We're elite academically, and how that hurts us athletically. And I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. And my point of view in this is, it's kind of like turning it back around. Like, if you're a young man and you're going to go to a school, all right, you don't want the best education, all right, you don't want generational changing opportunities after you're finished playing basketball. All right. You don't want to live in Nashville. And so I think a lot of times it's like, they kind of just label and say, all right, it's an academic school and you got to pick one or the other. You don't have to pick one or the other. I mean, you could be good at multiple things. And we got a great athletic director, Candace Story-Lee, who has a vision for our program and the other athletic programs as well. And so just kind of overcoming that you have to pick one or the other was a thing that I heard when I took the job, when I came in, and I never got it. I never will get it. And so if somebody does that, it's almost, they're trying to label us or put a limit on themselves, or look, maybe they couldn't get into Vanderbilt, they're mad. No, I couldn't get into Vanderbilt either. So maybe it's something they're holding against us.
I can't even spell Vanderbilt still. So
go with Vandy. It's easier. Go Vandy.
The Commodores.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're, you like kind of rebuilding the brand, right? We talked to a lot of coaches. They talk about the brand of their basketball, right? I mean, and we're going to get into the team that you're going to have the court this season, this upcoming season, but what you've done for the class of 2026, even, I mean, you're up there, I mean, top 3, top 5 recruiting class right now for the following year. Do you feel like that brand is just getting out there more to people?
Yeah, and I think you're saying it right. Like my dream is to have a program. And the problem right now is when you're saying that and the roster's changing so much, with programs need continuity. And you need players to come back so you can have passing it on down. And really, I would love players to come here and either graduate from Vanderbilt or go to the NBA, one or the other. And so with that, you got a program. But right now, that's tough in this climate. And you do need a brand and what you stand for, what you can do for people. And then it also needs to be something when you're recruiting somebody, it really is going to be, what can you do for them? Well, if you can show them the brand and how things work for them and then what it's going to be like, that really does help.
Yeah.
So you're saying that, your experience as a 4-year starter at the same school, that's kind of a lost art in these days, huh?
I doubt you're going to see those guys anymore. But regrettably is two things where my favorite thing as a coach is watching somebody come in as a freshman and their eyes are big and they're just, everything's new to them. And then seeing them grow and leave, as a senior, that's so much fun. And the other thing that bothers me right now is, if you go to 3 or 4 different schools, when they have homecoming, which one you go to? Like, right. Are you even allowed to go to any of them? Like, you didn't really have a home. So the homecoming game, they got options, but maybe they're not invited to any of them. So, staying somewhere and getting through things, I think would be big too.
Yeah, every game each year will be senior day of 13 players as seniors, and you can give them all parents flowers and corsages. You can have an event and just bring in the next 13. The good thing is for you, any records you have as a Seahawk are never going to be broken.
Well, no, I'm older now, so there was some gaps in there where some 4-year guys, and the only record I had was broken 2 years after I left. They had a great player named Brett Blizzard who went to the NCAA tournament and beat Indiana and had a great run, and so my days as a player have been completely washed away, and so I just got probably an old jersey to kind of prove I played.
Yeah, that's like me when I had kids. Everything got washed away, but I guess I can feel your pain. But I like the roster. I am Canadian. I grew up a hockey fan, and there's really only one true 99 in my world. It's the great one, Wayne Gretzky. But you got a really good one in number 99 too, and he's coming back. And you got Taylor Nickelback too. So Nickelback, that's funny. You got Tyler Nickel.
Tyler Nickelback.
And a multiple great transfers, Duke Miles, Frankie Collins. I remember Frankie Collins at Arizona State, Jalen Washington at UNC. What was the, after the season ended in Cleveland, what were the conversations like, especially with Tyler and Devin?
Yeah. So, and I'm going to add one more to it. It was another Tyler Tanner.
And Tyler Tanner. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he was a freshman last year, and we kind of keep track of the stat. And as a freshman, he led us in most minutes played the last 4 minutes game of a game that was being decided 10 points or less, and played over everybody else as a freshman. Didn't start, but he was in there. The most important thing that we have for this year's team is those three are back. And just watching them in year two. Devin McLaughlin, you mentioned him. Last year, he had to play the center for us. Never complained. We had a season-ending injury before, and he had to move down a position and play against these bigs in the SEC, and had a great year. Tyler Nickel, shot over 40% in SEC play from three-point line. But getting them back, and we talked about a second ago, we talked about building a program and brand and culture. That's the biggest thing we got going for us right now. And all those guys are taking jumps. So that was the immediate thing as soon as our season was over. And actually, even before our season was over, was working on getting them to come back.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy? I remember, Sam, this, you weren't with me, but I remember asking Coach Oates from Alabama, how are you balancing? I asked this to Coach Izzo too. How are you balancing, continuing still playing in the NCAA tournament and trying to advance, and building and retaining a roster? And, it's I don't know how you can do both at the same time, because there is a lot of those conversations that happened, the morning of a tournament game, the night of a tournament game. You're coming back because you got to figure out what's in the pie and how much, or the pizza or the whatever it is, and ingredients. And you got to figure out what more to add. So, but I really like who you brought in, and they're battle tested. I think it's really interesting when you play a team in conference, and the next year they're on your team, which is such a farce because you couldn't do that, 5-10 years ago. But I guess, is there any one? I mean, you obviously got some height too, which is nice. How excited are you for this upcoming season?
Yeah, I really like this roster. First thing, as character-wise and coach them and already right now, about the right things. And so that's not common right now. That's hard to find. So that's the first thing with the roster. The other thing is, I think we're talented. We had to make a purposeful effort looking around the SEC last year, and we talk about size, and everybody thinks it's just size at the center spot or at the big spot. It's really all the way through. And you look at this league, and you don't always have to do what everybody else does. Sometimes going a different direction might be make you unique or tough to guard or tough to prepare for. But we felt like sometimes covering our weaknesses last year that we ran out of size and length. That was all the way through the positions. And so purposeful effort in building this roster was, athleticism, you got to have that, but size, length, and strength. And we added that. You mentioned a couple of our guys, like Jalen Washington, I think is going to be really good for us. Transfer from North Carolina, been extremely impressive in our workouts and practices, and and he could do more things than even I thought he could do. I think he's going to have a really good year for us. And then we brought in another guy. I think everybody's going to learn about him pretty quickly. He's a transfer from Cornell, named AK. Graduated from Cornell 3 years. In 3 years, his brother went to Harvard. He's here working on his master's degree in finance. And, extremely bright, but people are going to realize how good he is too. He's been very impressive along the way, and then bringing an experienced SEC guy like Duke Miles, who's been really good. Mike James is kind of forgotten. He started at
Louisville. He was a stud at Louisville, then got hurt.
Got hurt, and then played at Louisville, and had a bad run there with team success, and had a crazy thing happen to him NC State injury wise. But I mean, like this roster, I really like. I think I have some guys who have something to prove, and enough experience, but have something to prove that's going to be beneficial to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
How's George Kimball doing with his injury? And I mean, do you see him redshirting this season?
He'll definitely redshirt. He's part of our future. And he's coming along. He's had his surgery. He's looking really good. He's already put on 9 pounds in the weight room, which is and that's you look at him every day, and we might just slow him down. He might be a middle linebacker by next year.
No, I'm a big fan of his. What he did at Eastern Kentucky, moving up from D2, and so I thought he was a great pickup for you guys for future years and stuff. I was kind of curious about that though. Potential ASUN player of the year last year if he doesn't get hurt. So.
Yeah, he's gonna be really good for us in the future.
Right.
Yeah. Sam, you think he's ready for some pain and torture?
Let's do it. Coach, we do a little thing called the shot clock. LT is going to fire off, 4 or 5, maybe 6 questions, depending on how it goes. But they're going to be pretty easy questions. Some might lead to one-word answers. Some might lead to
whoa. Some of them are not easy.
Some of them are easy. Some of them, 1 or 2 of them may require some deep thoughts.
But I gotta stay within the shot clock. No shot clock violation. That's my rule.
Every coach has broken the violation. I think Kelvin Sampson has the record of 45 minutes.
It's all good. LT, let's get it.
All right, I'll keep it simple. 1 word to describe the SEC.
Brutal.
Fact.
Yeah, we've never heard that one before. Toughest SEC arena to play in.
There's 3 on that stick out, so I can't go 1 word there. It's been many years I've been to Arkansas. I know that's challenging. Arkansas. I have been in Auburn. Auburn is really tough as well.
Maybe not anymore.
It still will be. They did a good job. Their student section and everything else. It's still going to be a tough environment. A surprising one last year was Missouri. I didn't know that's the first time I went to Missouri, and that was a really good environment. Been to Mississippi State before, and this is a long word. The biggest thing that surprised me about the SEC last year was every environment we went to was really good, and like student sections are lined up for noon games all the way down the sidewalks, and games are packed. And I know the league was all top 25 teams. Everybody's running through and everybody's good, but I don't know. There's a couple of them that stick out, but Kentucky's a lot of fans and yelling "Go Big Blue," and Tennessee's a huge crowd, and there's some good ones, but the hateful ones are probably the hardest ones. And I think I mentioned those first.
Yeah. Okay. I was waiting for him to say Tennessee, but guess just give him some more fuel. And you can use more than one word, Coach. You could. Yeah. It's okay.
Well, unless I'm coachable. Unless you say 1 word answer, then I'll go and go that way.
Yeah, you're the first coach that's ever listened to instructions, and we're 150 episodes in. Okay, so which current head coach in the SEC had the highest GPA in college? And I don't know the answer.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. All right.
Which one do you think?
I'm gonna go Dennis Gates.
That's a good one. Yeah, I can see that.
Ooh, yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I know it wasn't Cal because I know Cal went to Wilmington like I did, so I know what he did his freshman year. So that's why I'm taking him away.
Okay. If you weren't a college coach, basketball coach, or you can't be a basketball coach, okay? What would you be doing?
Yeah, college professor, and that really was the track.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I went to get my doctorate at UVA, and I was helped out with the basketball team, and I just kept missing practice and games and getting guys better, and really I wasn't always a lifelong coach. I was going to be a college professor and go that route, and then I switched once I was at UVA.
Yeah. Sam, you know what his nickname is? The Professor.
There we go.
I like it. All right. Which team got called for the most fouls in the SEC last year?
Called or committed. We might have been called for the most. We're probably up there.
Nope. Number 1 was Alabama, 19.1.
Mm-hmm.
You were 7th, 18. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think pace per play probably affects that in possessions in a game. And Alabama's obviously very fast, and we're pretty fast too. So I'm sure that was in there.
Yeah. Do you know who the officials probably like best, or I like to put it, the least called team in the SEC last year? In conference?
I'm gonna go with Florida.
There's a great song, and one of the words is "Take Me to a Better Place." Tennessee, Arrested Development with 15.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty foul heavy league. Just how many close games there were and needing to foul at the end of the game and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, 2 more questions here. All right, funniest recruiting story.
Oh,
it can be more than one word, Coach.
Yeah.
Or any of the schools you've coached at too.
Anywhere you've coached at, or even as a player.
Yeah, I mean, like a couple of them come out. Really, my funniest recruiting days are when I was assistant coach with Bobby Cremins. We were at college at Charleston together. And I probably got 100 of them with him. I mean, every day was an adventure. And one of the first ones that happened with us is we had to be at a gym at 8:00 in the morning. It was out of town. So we traveled the night before and got there. And I went to his room at 7:30 and he was good. He was already ready. And then I'm waiting at the car 7:45 and he's still not down. So I go up and knock on his door and I was like, Coach, we got to go right now. I was like, we can't walk in this gym late. I was like, we need to go. And he pointed to his TV and he goes, I've never seen this episode of Walker, Texas Ranger. I'm going to finish this and then we'll go ahead and go to the gym. And I'm a young assistant. I'm freaking out. And I was like, oh, we're not going to be able. It actually worked out better because he made a nice entrance into the gym. And so everybody saw him and what worked that way. And there was another thing. We were in Bojangles one time and that's to eat on the road, of course. And I'm looking in the car, looking into the restaurant, and there's all these ladies playing with his hair in the restaurant. And I'm like, I was like, what is he doing? We got to go. And finally, I walk in and they're like, he's like, see, I told you it was real. And we get into the car and I was like, Coach, what was all that about? He's like, I still got it. I was like, I mean, God, I could go on and on. I need a book with the stories of him on the road.
Yeah, he recruited one of my favorite players to Georgia Tech growing up, Kenny Anderson. So I can only imagine how he got Kenny Anderson and Dennis Scott and Brian Oliver and Malcolm Mackey and Travis Best, and can only imagine.
Yeah, he's an elite recruiter, and actually Kenny Anderson was just on our campus a couple of weeks ago, and
the handles?
I'm sorry.
Does he still have the handles? I
wanted him on scout team, but he did not want to get on scout team. But But no, well, it was great. Just we were going back and forth on Bobby Crimmins stories. And I like everybody in the coaching industry. If you don't have a good one, I feel bad for you because he is one of the absolute best people. And I miss being around him day to day. It was one of the fun parts of my job when I was assistant.
Yeah, legend. He was an absolute legend. All right, last question. Actually, two last questions. One quick one. The best coaching advice Jerry Wainwright gave you?
I mean, I still talk to him weekly.
Is he still comical and funny?
He quick-witted, very perceptive of what's going on in college sports right now. Anytime I'm going through a hard time in coaching, he's my first phone call. So to narrow that down to one, I mean, he is always, and I just talked to him on Monday this week for almost 45 minutes. He sends me quotes and letters once a week. He's one of a kind too. He's like a father figure to me, and he was hard on me as a player, but after that fact, you kind of get through this. I mean, he really has been a great guiding force in my life.
Yeah, awesome. Both Sam and I was the men's tennis coach at DePaul and have a graduate degree there, and Sam was there. So I always enjoyed Coach Wainwright's comments after games because he always had these quotes. Some made sense at the time, and some didn't make sense at the time, but you read into them and stuff like that. So if you were a spirit animal, what would it be?
Hanging in my house is a picture of a lion, and I don't know. I look at that, and if I'm not there, I want to be there.
Nice,
like that.
Love it. All right, Sam.
Yeah,
wow, lion, grr.
Yes. So, Coach, we're going to turn it over to you last minute of the show. If there's anything you want to share to the Commodore faithful, boosters, alumni, the students there, the city of Nashville, what are a couple things that all these people can expect coming into this first game and throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, right now I think everybody's roster is figuring it out. And, I think, like I said, 2 weeks from now we play UVA in an open game for our fans and then kind of get the first look at that. I think they'll see us get better and better. And I mean, it really is, our gymnasium, Memorial Gymnasium. I heard about this last year about being magical, and they talk about Memorial Magic. And I really didn't believe it when I first took the job. Now, a year later, it's true. And they actually talk about what is the magic, and it's the people inside of it. Like it creates the magic in there. So, it's going to be a fun year. They're going to love this team. Come out early, support us, see us get better and better. And it's just one of those things where I am the head coach, but we need everybody. We're Nashville's team. We're in a great city. We don't have professional basketball. We're the professional basketball in town. And even if you're not a full Vandy fan, come on out. You'll see some good basketball.
Yeah.
So how many SEC teams are going to make the tournament this year? Let's just throw it a number. Wes Flanagan said all of them, but
it came through. I guess they put it out there early projection, and somebody said 13, and I was like, oh, we're going to have a down year compared to last year. So like the thing about it, Luke, I think we don't know quite everybody's roster and how it fits together. Now everybody's got a talented roster, and so. If you told me right now, you named a team in our league and you're like, they're in the Sweet 16 next year, I'm like, all right, I can see how it happening. So every single one of these teams is talented. So you need some things to go your way. And I guess we'll figure out here how long is it? 5 months from now? 6 months from now?
6 months. 6 months today, I believe, is the national championship game.
All right. So 5 months, we probably have the bracket. So we'll figure out not too long.
Yeah. So, Coach, you're going to stick on for one more second as we upload. Sam, always great having you back. Coach, thanks so much. Look out for Vanderbilt. I think, Sam, we're going to have to make a road trip. I think I heard an invite somewhere in there to come to a game this year to watch some SEC basketball. But I know we'll bring our own. We'll bring the full court network magic.
There we go.
Just saying. But don't forget
there's no such thing as a bad time in Nashville. We'll welcome you. You guys will have a great time.
Yeah, I got to make sure my my search and arrest warrant don't fall into Tennessee, but I think I should be okay. But don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. Follow us on our social media handles. If you're watching on YouTube, smash dunk the subscribe button. We'll be back next week on the Full Court Press, a college basketball coaches show.